There is nothing wrong with the planet. Nothing wrong with the planet. The planet is fine. The people are difference.
Hello guys.
Hi everyone.
I'm Valdemar.
And I'm Veronica.
And today we are watching another George Carlin video.
Yes. I think the fourth one on our channel, or the third one? The fourth one.
I'm not sure. Fourth or the fifth one. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, this one was recommended to us, and of course, like I said many times, I've seen this one. Like, I think all of them. I would be surprised if you could recommend me a video of George Carlin that I haven't seen. I would be very happy, and I would be very grateful to you, the person who will send it to me.
That would be a surprise.
But yeah, Veronica has seen some, and we always have to check that out before. So if she's seen that one or that one, because it's mixed, she watched a little bit of the newer one, some older ones. So, but yeah, this one she hasn't.
Nope.
So we can do the reaction to that, but it's her reaction, and I'm just like usually I'm a supportive animal.
You are, yeah.
Okay, let's begin.
See, I'm not one of these people who's worried about everything. You got people like this around you. Country's full of them now. People walking around all day long, every minute of the day, worried about everything. Worried about the air, worried about the water, worried about the soil. Worried about insecticides, pesticides, food additives, carcinogens. Worried about radon gas, worried about asbestos. Worried about saving endangered species. Let me tell you about endangered species, all right? Saving endangered species is just one more arrogant attempt by humans to control nature. It's arrogant meddling. It's what got us in trouble in the first place. Doesn't anybody understand that? Interfering with nature. Over 90%, way over 90% of all the species that have ever lived on this planet, are gone. They're extinct. We didn't kill them all. They just disappeared. That's what nature does. They disappear these days at the rate of 25 a day. And I mean regardless of our behavior. Irrespective of how we act on this planet, 25 species that were here today will be gone tomorrow. Let them go gracefully. Leave nature alone. Haven't we done enough?
But what about pandas?
I will pause just for 1 second, and we will not have a long discussion. So let's try not have a long discussion. Okay. Because it's not something that I agree with totally. And I agree with Carlin on many subjects. But in this case, my opinion is very simple. And it's a very similar topic with the global heating. How do you say it? Global warming. Because I have many friends and I have discussions about the topic with them. It's partially true. Because yes, many species that are existing today will not exist in the future, not because of us. It's just the part of the circle of life. And it's very similar with the global warming. Yes, it's natural for Earth to have episodes when it's getting hotter and when it's getting cooler. But just because it's a natural process doesn't mean that we are not influencing it in any way. And it's not insignificant. You can hear that opinions that what we do is insignificant when it comes to global warming because Earth will be warmer anyway. Yes, it will be, but not as much as it will be thanks to our work and what we do. And with the species, yes, it's true that they will go extinct, but it's also true that many of the species will go extinct because of what we do. So that's just what I wanted to say.
Yeah, I agree totally with that. And I think it's just not to prolong it, but it's just we have the science that we have that we can use. And we also know about the species, the balance that needs to be in nature. And yes, nature can regulate itself, but sometimes in the past it will lead to catastrophes. It will lead to very bad periods for nature, and then it rights itself. But because we inhabit the planet right now, we cannot really afford for all those very down periods to happen to us. So we have to regulate it. And also we are like the species that we're breeding in mass that should not be bred in mass for the natural order of things. We just need to write it up in different ways.
Even just simple house cats. Just the fact that we have so many house cats and they are going out
they're killing
to
the
hunt.
animals, yeah.
Just see the numbers. How many animals are being killed by house cats. And it's partially because of us. We we
It's
wouldn't
completely
have
because of us,
so many
because we
house
wouldn't-
cats if we didn't have them. They wouldn't just, raise from the ground. Yeah, that's it.
Go on.
We will go. Continue. No more pause.
Leave nature alone. Haven't we done enough? We're so self-important. So self-important. Everybody's going to save something now. Save the trees, save the bees, save the whales, save those snails. And the greatest arrogance of all, save the planet. What? Are these fucking people kidding me? Save the planet? We don't even know how to take care of ourselves yet. We haven't learned
With
how to
this one,
care
I
for
agree.
one another. We're going to
100%.
save the fucking planet? I'm getting tired of that shit. Tired of that shit. Tired. I'm tired of fucking Earth Day. I'm tired of these self-righteous environmentalists, these white bourgeois liberals who think the only thing wrong with this country is there aren't enough bicycle paths. People trying to make the world safe for their Volvos. Besides, environmentalists don't give a shit about the planet. They don't care about the planet. Not in the abstract, they don't. Not in the abstract, they don't. You know what they're interested in? A clean place to live. Their own habitat. They're worried that someday in the future they might be personally inconvenienced. Narrow, unenlightened self-interest doesn't impress me. Besides, there is nothing wrong with the planet. Nothing wrong with the planet. The planet is fine. The people are fucked. Difference. The planet is fine. Compared to the people, the planet is doing great. It's been here 4.5 billion years. Did you ever think about the arithmetic? Planet has been here 4.5 billion years. We've been here, what, 100,000? Maybe 200,000? And we've only been engaged in heavy industry for a little over 200 years. 200 years versus 4.5 billion. And we have the conceit to think that somehow we're a threat? That somehow we're going to put in jeopardy this beautiful little blue-green ball that's just a-floating around the sun? The planet has been through a lot worse than us. Been through all kinds of things worse than us. Been through earthquakes, volcanoes, plate tectonics, continental drift, solar flares, sunspots, magnetic storms, the magnetic reversal of the poles, hundreds of thousands of years of bombardment by comets and asteroids and meteors, worldwide floods, tidal waves, worldwide fires, erosion, cosmic rays, recurring ice ages, and we think some plastic bags and some aluminum cans are going to make a difference? The planet isn't going anywhere. We are. We're going away. Pack your shit, folks. We're going away. And we won't leave much of a trace either. Thank God for that. Maybe a little styrofoam. Maybe. Little styrofoam. Planet will be here and we'll be long gone. Just another failed mutation. Just another closed-end biological mistake. An evolutionary cul-de-sac. The planet will shake us off like a bad case of fleas. A surface nuisance. You want to know how the planet's doing? Ask those people at Pompeii who are frozen into position from volcanic ash how the planet's doing. Want to know if the planet's all right? Ask those people in Mexico City or Armenia or 100 other places buried under thousands of tons of earthquake rubble if they feel like a threat to the planet this week. How about those people in Kilauea, Hawaii who build their homes right next to an active volcano and then wonder why they have lava in the living room? The planet will be here for a long, long, long time after we're gone, and it will heal itself, it will cleanse itself, because that's what it does. It's a self-correcting system. The air and the water will recover, the earth will be renewed, and if it's true that plastic is not degradable, well, the planet will simply incorporate plastic into a new paradigm, the earth plus plastic. The earth doesn't share our prejudice towards plastic. Plastic came out of the earth. The earth probably sees plastic as just another one of its children. Could be the only reason the earth allowed us to be spawned from it in the first place. It wanted plastic for itself. Didn't know how to make it. Needed us. Could be the answer to our age-old philosophical question, why are we here? Plastic. Assholes. So, The plastic is here. Our job is done. We can be phased out now. And I think that's really started already, don't you? I mean, to be fair, the planet probably sees us as a mild threat, something to be dealt with. And I'm sure the planet will defend itself in the manner of a large organism, like a beehive or an ant colony can muster a defense. I'm sure the planet will think of something. What would you do if you were the planet trying to defend against this pesky, troublesome species? Let's see. What might... viruses. Viruses might be good. They seem vulnerable to viruses. And viruses are tricky, always mutating and forming new strains whenever a vaccine is developed. Perhaps this first virus could be one that compromises the immune system of these creatures. Perhaps a human immunodeficiency virus, making them vulnerable to all sorts of other diseases and infections that might come along. And maybe it could be spread sexually, making them a little reluctant to engage in the act of reproduction. Well, that's a poetic note. And it's a start. And I can dream, can't I? See, I don't worry about the little things. Bees, trees, whales, snails. I think we're part of a greater wisdom than we will ever understand. A higher order. Call it what you want. Know what I call it? The big electron. The big electron. Whoa. 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 It doesn't punish. It doesn't judge at all. It just is. And so are we. For a little while. Thanks for being here with me for a little while tonight.
Yeah, I like this one. I like what he says always. With the way he touches you, what he says as well. And he's right with... I really don't like... What is it called now? Greenwashing?
What is it?
Is that when they make you think that it is your fault that the planet is falling apart?
Yeah, okay.
That's really what I don't like. I just, when they, like, it's nice when we, if you can go zero waste and it's it's fun for you or something, that's great. And also, we should all be wary of using our resources. But
fuck off with those paper straws, if you could.
Yeah, also that. But you know what I mean? When the big companies, they produce so much waste every single second, and then they want you to lower the comfort of your life significantly in some cases. Just give me a break. And I remember, I always go back to talking. There was once when I worked at a hotel, I talked to this woman, and her biggest dream in life was travel. And this is what she liked the most, traveling. But she was also very, she was vegan, she was very environmentally conscious, she was really a good woman. And she said her biggest dream is to see Africa, but she's not going to do it because the carbon footprint of taking the plane to Africa is so great, and she doesn't want to hurt the environment. Whereas at the same time, there was this scandal that Ryanair was taking empty flights because they had to meet the quota. So it really annoys me. Like they say, save the planet, whereas all they want you to do is to buy their biodegradable product.
And they are using this to just make money out of you. If you will buy tickets for a plane, they are like, oh, if you want to cover your carbon footprint, pay this €5.
Really you do it.
You do it. Yeah, fuck off. But it's your fucking plane, your fucking fuel, so...
Yeah, having said all that, of course, get a reusable water bottle. And of course, because it's that tiny things you can do, and we should all do them, and they become common sense.
But they don't matter. In the grand scheme of things, when you have those big corporations, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Or if you have billionaires who are traveling with the jets, just to go to the shopping.
From state to state or something, exactly.
And you cannot go to vacation twice a year or once a year. Literally, fuck off.
Yeah. And it can start from the bottom, and you can try to force this corporation to stop it, but it really has to be a bigger thing, and don't let them fool you into buying more products, is what I would say. And just making money off you. But, we saw a nice thing in McDonald's when we were visiting France. That they were using reusable plastic charts for fries as well, and for cups. That was a really nice thing to do. Yeah, and such an easy thing to do, and such a good idea.
Yeah, and much better experience, for me, just to drink with the normal fucking glass and not some papers.
Yeah, no discomfort at all. And then they probably wash it, in bowl or something. Yeah. Really good. But about
this... I don't know how much. I wonder if
they use a lot of water.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have efficient dishwashers. Then probably not. Probably less than you use water to produce it, to be honest.
You're probably right.
But but about what George Carlin said, I agree 100% with what he said. Most of it, not 100%, because I'm about to say that everything. I don't know. I think I lack the knowledge. I don't exactly know our how big our impact on the planet is, I don't imagine the Earth can exactly get rid of what we are polluting it with, like with the microplastics in the water and the air and the soil and the animals, and we are all just riddled with microplastics right now because they're everywhere.
If I might just a bit for a moment, it depends on what you think Earth is, because if you think of just this, ball,
that's what I wanted to say.
Maybe yes, but all the things that are living here, we can influence them, like animals.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of natural that we're also like emotionally attached to the animals that are sharing the planet with us at this moment. Like, fine, we had dinosaurs before, we can't really do anything for them, but I think it's quite natural that we want to save the animals that are there right now with us, that we also need because of the ecosystem that we are, because we need all of them, because the animals that we need are part of the ecosystem.
Example, and we are killing them.
We save the bees, please.
Yeah, but it's really a big issue. It can be a big issue.
It probably will be.
And I'm a big fan of the tea with the lemon and honey, so I don't know what I will do if we won't have any bees.
Yeah, and the last thing that I just wanted to say is that, because he says, Earth was able to do this and recover from all these things. Yeah, Earth did, but other planets didn't. Like, Mars, we have traces of water on Mars. It no longer has the atmosphere. So, I'm not saying people did it, like past civilization to it, most likely not, but also Earth could go absolutely. Yes, Earth will get destroyed at some point. So
I want to point out one thing, because this video is from the beginning of the 90s. And I think George Carlin was a person who would not stick to the one idea his whole life. And you can see that even during his career, that he changed a lot during his life. He started off not as this, controversial comedian, but he was a TV show presenter or something like that, with a very mild comedy. So I think if he would be alive today, I don't think he would say exactly the same thing as he said more than 30 years ago.
That's very true. He was very aware for his time.
So it was a very different matter in the 90s about polluting the planet and about, ecosystem than it is right now, because now it's a much bigger problem than it was in the 90s. So just that it might be true, what might be true in the 90s doesn't necessarily have to be true today.
True. It was very aware of him, and really good of him to say this.
Yeah. But one thing that I agree most in all this video is the short part that he said, that people who want to care about the planet, but we are still not caring about ourselves. And this might be controversial, so I would keep it short, because this is just my private opinion. But I'm one of these people who are getting a little bit, weird out about people who are willing to, spend a lot of money and time to save animals or, ecosystem or some forest and stuff like that. But when it comes to, helping other people who are sick and, they need money for some surgeries or some treatment, then they are like, fuck them. Maybe not in such a horrible way, but
I know
there are people like that, and I met people like that who would care more for a dog than for another person. And yeah, me personally, I have problem with that. And I know that it's not everyone's opinion and people are entitled to have their opinions. But for me personally, I think we should first learn to care for each other, for other people, and then we can, focus.
I think it's also, in a way, it could be dealt with together if that's possible, because if you look at the wider picture, it's all the consequence of one thing, which is like, the consumptionist and the, our kind of lifestyle, like mine and yours and even people above us. And then the way we are living has an effect of people who have a worse living situation, and we are just dumping our waste on them, whether that means the planet or whether that means the work that they have to do.
Yeah.
So that we can enjoy it.
Yeah.
So if we started, looking at the consequences of what we do, then I think that would help everything.
Yeah, I think that's the most important part, that just what you said, like that the industry and for things for us to, so we can have more comfortable lives, but people in the other parts of the world have to suffer and work in some terrible fucking factory, 60 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And sometimes I wonder if it's not easier to look at the sewage waste that we put into rivers or into oceans or the melting icebergs or whatever, than when you have to stop and the iPhone you just posted this on was produced by, I don't know, a child or something.
Yeah.
I'm not saying especially the iPhone, I don't know, but like the small electronic parts or the food that you eat, and we all just look away and be like, no, I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I think there are more important issues right now, today, than pollutions. And I'm not saying that that it's not important. It is, and we also have to take care of that. But what I don't like personally is, covering those problems that are more important, I think, like human suffering in different parts of the world, and covering this with environment, animals.
Well, but you can't really sell anything to connect it to human suffering, because you'd have to start selling less things, but you can sell a nice bottle that says "Save the Planet" on it.
Yeah, which is done by some poor kid in third world country. Okay, so ending on this depressive note, thank you for watching. And
if you're also depressed about the state of the world, leave us a like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.